It's just one of those heroes that it would probably mean a Skyrath tied laning stage as well, which doesn't seem all too bad. Just kind of seems really annoying to have to play into. But now though, Adroit, they do make their third pickup going into the Bloodseeker. Motivate.Trust will have to go into their fourth pickup now.
Yeah. That Bloodseeker here for Adroit is looking pretty nice in terms of controlling the Void Spirit. You've got the Rupture, you've got the Blood Riot. You can punish the Clockwork jumping in. You can kind of punish these rather squishy heroes. Clock and Sky aren't particularly tanky, neither is the Void Spirit.
Yeah.
So the Bloodseeker should have a good time. What I am curious about is how Adroit lanes it. Is this going to be our MCY Tino hero? I think it is. I think they might be planning
Really?
to run that safe. Otherwise, they might go for Doom mid up against Void Spirit. That doesn't sound too bad. An offlane Bloodseeker in that case, and something else for MCY. I just reckon with how Adroit's been drafting, safe lane Bloodseeker's not too out of the norm, but we have seen that a couple of times, right? And it has kind of fallen flat in the core position, in that one position. So I don't know if Adroit will want to opt for it here.
Yeah, I just don't like the idea of it. Like
Mm,
it kind of seems good, but then it seems really bad. Like
yep.
it could work in niche drafts, but I don't know. I reckon they just stick with the offlane Bloodseeker mid Doom. It seems
hmm
much
hmm
more normal in the current meta. Question is, what do they give MCY? What does he want to play? What's it going to be, I guess? For now, Motivate.Trust, their fourth pickup. They go into the Conquer. And now things get a little bit confusing as to what's going on with this laning stage for Motivate.Trust, as they have two mid
hmm
laners, theoretically three if you want to count the Skyrath. Where
Yeah.
is this Void Spirit going? Where's the Conquer going?
I think it I think it's gonna be Masaros Void Spirit and the Fearless Kunkka. That's probably the best way to lane it, especially if you're expecting mid Doom. Kunkka should have a good time trading with the Tidebringer. We have seen Masaros a couple of times in the Void Spirit, right? He does play a fantastic Void Spirit as well. Although you tend to love the flashiness Fearless brings out, but they might have to swap it out here. Adroit now, they see that Kunkka, they know there's that flexibility on hand, they're gonna make a decision. They go with Monkey King.
Okay, alright.
Hmm. Hmm.
It doesn't seem so bad.
No, it's not the monkey itself I'm wondering about, it's lanes, right? Like Doom Bloodseeker Monkey. Did they just draft all three cores already? So a
Yes, I
triple
believe they
melee
have.
core against Kunkka, that can be a bit dicey. Mainly down to the fact that X is gonna ruin you on one of these heroes. Straight up. Like so much value for the Kunkka to mark. That Monkey King gonna be hard to escape. The Clockwork as well is going to keep you locked in a pretty good spot. These heroes aren't exactly the most mobile. Adroit's got to watch their spacing. Still, they have amazing team fight. Wukong's and Bloodright, that is pretty potent. And the Monkey's a pretty active hero, in any position. So Adroit can play fast. We know their playstyle. At least in their previous iteration, they do like to play blazingly fast. And these are the heroes to get that done. So they've got a pace here to play with. We'll see how they close it out, though, as it is pretty open with how each hero lanes here.
Alright, Adroit, final pickup. They could be running some kind of strange position 4, for all we
hmm
know.
hmm I mean, a Doom 4 is something we've seen before. Not so much now, but it's just so strange. You have Enchantress. It's just not the. What? So I'm so confused.
It's a strange draft. Alright, so they finish off with the Snapfire. Very flexible draft, for sure, with Adroit.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of reminding me of the same problem we had last game with
Yeah, yeah.
with the other draft, which is you just don't have real good team fight. In
Yeah,
fact, the only stun they have is Boundless Strike and
and Cookie.
Cookie.
Yep, that's it. There's a lot of pressure in the Enchantress and Doom to get a good creep out and kind of play around that stun. So a blink on Dooms can be key. Um, I mean, there is some good synergy here. Bloodright, Wukong's, and Kisses coming out. It's just they have no hold
Yeah.
If you had like even an Underlord there with a pit, I could kind of just. But this
Okay.
is a very tricky game to maximize your snap. If they can somehow do it, then props to them. That's going to be amazing. And what? How did that slide through till the end?
Apparently it did. So Jackie going to get a free Drow Ranger for himself. They do have the gap close with the Monkey King, but it's not the greatest gap close, right? Like you know, you just get gusted as soon as you jump in. So it's
Oh, wow. You seeing that sky set, Mike? That is sick. That is so
oh,
sick. What is
I
that?
let's
That's amazing.
show the viewers that is new. I haven't seen that one before. It could be because nobody ever plays Sky anymore.
That's
So
true.
that might be why, but that is a pretty cool one, I must admit.
Yeah.
What is that?
Is it the? Didn't he have another battle pass thing? I don't know. It doesn't look like it was
Did
from
he?
there. I forget. I can't keep it. Skyrat has like a million sets for some reason, right? It's so strange. He's got like 1,000 immortals as well. So I'm not sure, but it looks fancy, and it's going to be the Master as Void Spirit, so he doesn't get to play his Tide. I think you're fine with that though. Fearless on his Kunkka. Boomy Doom. So it's a core snap, by the way, Mike. Snapfire by Mac.
Okay.
Boomy Doom. So you have the Doom Enchantress support duo, which I guess you can make work. I do worry about the moment Adroit loses some early game momentum, the supports are just going to lag behind so hard. Like Doom might keep up in farm with Devour, but then you're just completely putting your Enchantress in the bin. And that's not really where it wants to be. You can still make plays. We've seen Whitemon do it, but your
Oh, I
team has to
feel
be ready to
better
follow up.
already.
So Adroit's team play is going to be tested here with their draft. There are ways to make it work. It's not a complete outdraft, but they have to be very precise with their movement and on point with their timings and spell uses here.
If they can get the early game secured, Adroit could definitely start just running over Motivate.Trust, but without that, it's just the same story as last game, really. You've, you've got to get something going early on. Of course, Boomy could really take over, like, with these Dooms, you take Hoof Stomp from the Centaur. You could count that as your kind of team fight control. But it is a pos 4 Doom, so, you can't rely on that.
No. I like the swap of the Snapfire mid, though. So Max should have a decent time now against the Kunkka. Fearless has to watch his spacing, has to watch that Scatter Blast. It is painful for any melee hero to go against a Snap, but Tidebringer is a pretty good, potent skill as well. So you have a bit of a back and forth there for Fearless and for Mac to kind of deal with.
See our Monkey King roaming through as a courier. They have spotted him out, so they're going to try and cut him off here. Q. He's going to get the concussive shot, slow him down a bit. That's really going to be it, though. Nobody going to go any further. MCY, he's going to be alright. It should be a 2 for 2 on those bounty runes, and it is. Very even start. Looks like Boombell might even try to get in close to get a bit of extra damage out with that battery assault early on. Trying to maybe force the Jingu Mastery to be leveled up early. He's probably going to go Jingu Mastery anyway, but maybe wants the Boundless Strike to secure range creep. See, is MCY is running down towards maybe the mid lane. Is he going to take over mid against the Kunkka?
They could swap, but Mac's already having a rough time of it. I think they're just going to try to salvage it. MCY is going to be laning up, so this should be a little bit more manageable. As you mentioned, Jingu Mastery is killed up by MCY, but Fearless has a level advantage. He's got the Torrent now up as well, and now MCY is going to be copying the hard lane.
Yeah, I mean, you see bot and top lane swaps all the time, but there's a reason why you can't swap in the mid lane, and that's because the XP advantage already is going to be there. So,
Yeah, look
pretty
at
tough.
Mac,
Yeah, Boombell
force
just
back.
following him down. This is your core Snapfire, not getting anything done. He's just stuck at level 1, running back to the fountain. He even bought a salve out to try and heal himself up, but he's not even going to use it now. Just going to make his way back to the fountain instead.
And speaking of, we haven't even talked about the side lanes. Like up top, Jackie's actually playing there with Q. So it's an offensive lane for our Drow Ranger, but it is paying off. We'll have to contend with Mac, but Mac and CML are stuck at 1. This is just going to be a hard lane for them to work out with. Now, the bot lane is a bit better. Masaros versus Nico is going fairly okay for Adroit. They've got 2 really beefy frontliners. Masaros is going to cop a harder time trying to trade. But that is it. Adroit's really sacrificing their other lanes with that kind of swap outs for this bot lane.
I think Masaros is going to be okay with it. We saw this last game as well with KP. Like he can struggle a bit on the Void Spirit, but eventually you just catch up. You get an Aghanim Scepter, and you enjoy your game. I wonder if they're going to change the Aghanim Scepter on the Void Spirit in the new patch. Just seems a little too strong. Like
I don't reckon.
You don't think it's going to get changed?
The silence is pretty darn strong, but then you start looking at all the Ags. I think if you want something to be nerfed, Snap.
Oh, Snap's 100% getting nerfed. There's no way she's getting away without a nerf.
And, you know, speaking of that Snap, Mac is still stuck at 1. Jackie's at 3 and CML.
He's getting dived. Boom Bill may be going a bit too far here, but they do get the first blood gold. Q will be happy with that on your Skyrath. That means more null talismans for him. And while all this is happening, Jackie is freely farming up. He is uncontested on the Drow.
Yep, it's just going swimmingly well for MG.Trust. They don't mind these trades. You can see Max struggle. Like, we talk about Scatter Blast being ridiculous, but against a range here like Jackie, who has a lot of range, you're not in a position to really maximize that damage. And again, CML.
Love to see it. Boombell just running at them. The cookie is going to maybe save CML's life, and it will. Gonna just have to commit himself to try and remain in this lane. And we do finally see a rotation out from Boomy up towards the top lane, but he can't do anything as the pos for Doom. Mid lane, oh, that is a great mischief dodge from MCY. He dodged out the Tidebringer, and that would have been certain death had it connected. I don't even know how he dodged that.
Yep. It's a very tight window, but does manage to win out. Still the runes. Q's already in position to intercept, so MCY is just going to have to regen up with the Boundless, which is fine. Still a rough lane for our Monkey, right? 19-5 compared to our Kunkka 23-4. It's a tri-lane up top now, as you mentioned. Boomy's moving in, but I don't see this lane doing anything besides sapping EXP away from each other.
On the bright side, John, Boomy did manage to get the Ogre Frost Mage, so you do have some crazy bonus armor now from Boomy. Except he isn't giving it over to his teammates. There you go. That is going to be some insane kind of value there with that armor. How much does it even give? Yeah, bonus 5 armor. Pretty nice.
It is going to be enough to keep Max safe. They are holding this lane out. But again, they're sapping EXP. Even MG.Trust also dragging 3 bodies up. So they want to match this pace. They're not going to allow Adroit to kind of salvage this one out.
I mean, there's no real winning this lane, though, for Adroit. Pos 4 Doom doesn't do anything in a tri-lane, except eat creeps, and now he's going to be in a bit of trouble. He gets the bonus armor up, but he's been slowed up and Cogs pushed back, and the cookie just puts him back into the Cogs. There is going to be Boombell actually dying, thanks to the Scatter Blast, and somehow the Doom does get away. That bonus armor does indeed save him.
I think it's more of the Wild Wing Ripper, just keeping that tornado slow. They can really move as much as they'd want, and that really cost them. Like, this is pretty much fixing up the lane for Adroit. They immediately TP MCY as well.
MCY is here now. Okay, he's hit level 6, going to make the jump on the Jackie with the Powerless Strike, and he does get the kill.
You never had a chance, Triaxix.
Good rotation, I guess. There you go.
Yeah, it works out. Fearless also has a 6, but isn't looking for any offensive plays. Adroit somehow going out 1-3. This is a great start. Nikodo being jumped.
He's in trouble. Boombell going to catch the Cogs as well. Does get the blood right, but the Aether Remnant going to hold him down, and the Cogs, it's going to be enough to take him out thanks to Boombell. It's going to be a 2-3 now. Mind you, all this time that's been going past, Fearless has been freely farming on the Kunkka. Looks like he is going into the standard double bracer build that we're used to seeing, or maybe even just one bracer, considering he is freely farming up. Could come back to bite Adroit later on if they're not too wary of this.
Yeah. It's, again, they're pretty much just running down bot. Now, you do see Masaros come up top instead, and Jackie's given mid to kind of farm up. It's been a hard lane for Adroit, 26-22. Amazing denies, though, but you need some farm built up here on your pause 1, and they're just going to give Masaros the time to dance here. Has a 7, so there should be some opportunities for Masaros to jump in and out and try to make something happen.
Absolutely. It's hot lane again. Nico goes down. Boombell, he just stuck around. Does get another kill for himself on the clockwork. Gonna make it a 3-3 now. Looks like he's gonna start trying to rotate through to the mid lane, but he's out of mana. There's not really much he can do here. He does at least find himself a bounty rune, which is just left there this whole time.
Yeah, it's a nice pickup for Boombell. Still, they're kind of keeping it even here. 3-3 both sides. Less than 1k lead coming out for MG.Trust. Big runaway start here is still Fearless, who has just been forcing in the bot lane. Jackie still needs to play a lot of catch-up. You can see the pressure Adroit's keeping down mid, and they're jumping.
MCY gonna Primal Spring in. Boombell gonna be there to interrupt. Does have the cogs and will push him away, but he's still being slowed by that tomato creep. They are still trying to get Boombell out, and they do as Fearless now. He's going to come in, try to set up on somebody with an X. Does eventually get CML on the Enchantress, but while that was happening, Boombell does indeed die. MCY eventually does find him out. They do get the kill, so 1 for 1. They do run back into the Monkey King. They did chop the tree indeed, the monkey. Going to be stunned up for a long time into the boat, and Fearless does get the kill, but now Jackie goes down to Mac. Boomy does also die on the Doom as Fearless is still going towards Masaros. Masaros going to die now on the Void. Q being chased down by this Bloodseeker. The X not going to be there in time. The torrent does connect, but Nico, he might just be 2-kick or maybe not. He gets cut off by Boombell. Just a very messy team fight between these two. It was a 3-for-3 in the end. Barely favoring Motivate.Trust, apparently, just based on the gold that was exchanged.
Yep, it is getting really, really messy for both sides. You lose Jackie, but you found a monkey. You are still hurting on Jackie, though. Look at the difference between MCY and Jackie. MCY is level 8, Jackie's level 5, just hit 6. And even the farm is just a far cry. 3k for Jackie, but you are 700 up on MCY. Sub 10 minutes, that's huge, although.
Hey, you say that, John, but he just died to Masaros. Bit of a jinx there, John. Just be careful, we don't want to curse these players.
Ooh, yeah, it's that evens it out a bit. Just about 300 behind, so Jackie's not going to be feeling too bad. Oh,
nice Aether Remnant there, just stealing that bounty rune away from the Doom. Very nice indeed. Masaros looks like he's going for the standard build-up on the Void Spirit, just going for that Yule Scepter. Probably gets the Aghanim Scepter straight after that. It's very, very standard stuff.
Yeah, nothing too surprising. You are seeing Jackie start to play solo top, and you only really have CML's Enchantress to stop it. But this is just basically free farm for our Drow. So some space being built up here for MG.Trust. Adroit still setting their eyes elsewhere. It's kind of split up. We see some focus mid and some focus bot.
They might go, and they do, onto the Bloodseeker. Nico in a spot of danger here as Masaros does get him. And Fearless is just chasing down MCY as he's trying to run. They are trying to get the tree chopped down, but they couldn't get it in time. MCY, he's going to be all right. Unless Fearless trying to look for him, but can't quite get him. While that was happening, though, Adroit, they do get the middle tier 1 tower. So, say what you will, they are making this draft somewhat work.
Yeah, I mean, they trade a hero away for that mid-tier 1, but it was just their Bloodseeker. So, the objective is a lot bigger. And look at this, it opens up the triangle. They've been setting their eyes there, but Boombell is just sort of sticking to Jackie, just really sticking close to that Drow and ensuring that she doesn't get jumped. MG.Trust is setting their eyes bot again.
They are. Boat was thrown in, but looks like MCY was just fine. Maybe just clearing out the creep wave with the boat. Both teams just gonna focus in on some farm. I imagine the farming game would just favor Motivate.Trust though, if I'm perfectly honest. But just back Masaros, CML, gonna get caught out. 8th Remnant there, and Jackie does get himself a nice little pickup on the Enchantress, and Fearless got an X off onto Boomy with the torrent to come in, and Q with the follow-up damage, but Scorched Earth, no, a great hook shot out. Boombell, it's not gonna be enough. The cookie will save. They are going to try and pressure this mid-tier 1 tower and at least get their own tier 1 tower back.
Yeah.
MCY going to TP in. Doom is committed out onto Fearless, but he is just making a run for it and he is fairly tanky. Jackie almost going down on the Drow, but is going to be able to survive through the kisses. It looks like Boombell is going to be the only one to drop his Nico, trying to chase down Fearless. The Doom does wear off. He will go for the TP play and does make it out. Jackie doing the exact same thing. That's kind of what happens when you don't have any stuns.
Again, we talked about it from draft, right? It was all down to Enchantress creeps and Doom getting a creep that can stun. Boomy, though, is sticking to that ice armor. Does take the crit creep instead, but that still doesn't help with the control. At least not until you have Infernal Blade, but that also is just down to 1 target. So Adroit, they're keeping up. They're keeping up paces. They defend their mid-tier 1. It's still active at 191 HP, just outside of the Nye range. So there's still an opportunity here for MG.Trust to go for the objective if they wanted to. And some timings are still being met here by MG.Trust. Fearless, very close to the disarm, and they find a kill.
Yeah. Masaros again. Understanding how easily he can kill CML, especially if Q's around on the Skywrath Mage. Still, I mean, MCY is getting decently close to that Aghanim Scepter. I must admit, though, MCY has slowed down in farm a hell of a lot. I mean, at one stage he was at the top of the net worth board, and now he's just so far behind.
It's been a bit of a struggle. We're going to have to see how they plan to bounce back there. Still, MG.Trust do manage to take the top tier ones. They're finding at least an objective here. Still not quite as big as that mid-tier one, but something for Jackie. He's getting a little bit more gold. Hurricane Pike up next. Has the Dragonlance, so a bit more safe distance, a bit more social distancing coming out there for our Drow. Jackie should be keeping himself safe, but Adroit is just very stubborn down mid. They're just constantly shoving this wave back. Fearless has had enough. Just standing there and forcing the fortify.
Yeah. Almost has the Heaven's Halberd up on the Conquer. Goes your tier 1 mid. That Heaven's Halberd is going to make it very hard on MCY. He hasn't, well, he actually has queued up a BKB now, so he gave up on the Aghanim Scepter. Interesting.
I think that's fine. I think BKB allows you to stand in front. We've been talking about the plays with the Snapfire. They need to just line up the Wukongs and Kisses and Bloodright, which is a lot. But if they can, then you win big. The BKB will enable you to do that. The Ags for Mac is fairly close. We're talking about 100 gold off. And once that's up for Mac, well, I think the party starts to get started. Gobble up plays. You can toss in your Bloodseeker. You can toss in your Doom once he has a stun. And just kind of follow up and start cleaning up. We'll see if Adroit will want to play more aggressive once that's up. As it's flying out now on Mac.
And on the brighter side as well with that, John, you get an extra stun. I mean, it's
Plus
like
1 over 0. That's
1 second, 1.5 second. Pretty good. It's like a 30-second cooldown, though. No, 40-second cooldown.
Fairly low for what it does, really.
1.5 second stun on a 30-second cooldown, John.
Seems, but the range, Mike. The range.
Well, I mean, it's the range and the damage. It deals like 700 damage. Masaros getting baited here. He's going to simulate, though. They need to jump in. Boomy not getting the Doom off. In fact, he almost dies to the Mystic Flare, but they still control him up. Nice big pick off there for Adroit. It could have been a real disaster had they not killed off Masaros and maybe get turned on, but now MCY going for more. Glimmercape is going to save Q for now as his teammates are coming in. Boombill wanting to cancel off those kisses does go after that Snapfire as now the boats have come in from Fearless. He does connect it onto the Bloodseeker. Jackie even joining in with the right clicks onto that Bloodseeker. Does get the kill, and Masteros will come back in with a buyback onto Mac. Really wanting that Snapfire kill, and he probably will get it as well, and he does. Great team fight out for Motivate.Trust. 1-for-2 trade. Does cost you the buyback, but doesn't seem like Masteros really minds too much. So they might even get another kill here. CML is not too careful, but he does wisely go back instead of farming that mid creep wave.
Yeah, and you mentioned it, but this is definitely worthwhile for MG.Trust. The fact that you're giving these kills to Jackie has allowed him to recover. He's number 2 in net worth now, Mike. Really good spot for a Drow. Hurricane Pike up. He can forcibly get some social distancing in place for himself. Gotta love Drow, but he's not wearing a face mask though. Gotta watch out for that Drow. Still, Adroit, the Ags reveal not going the way they want. You know, they've got it off cooldown now. They need to play with Boomy, get the Gobble Up Doom immediately, just find that pick off, rinse and repeat as you build up an MCY. Still waiting for him to finish up his items. The BKB is going to be flying out soon, but you're not ready to take these bigger fights until then.
No, you aren't. Boomy gets the Doom off, and Gobble Up is going to be there onto CML. They are going to chase him down. Boundless Strike is out. Fearless trying to tank through the damage. Is actually kind of running away, but will eventually go down. But now perhaps the turn potential MCY doesn't really want to die though. Nice mischief dodge. It's not going to be enough, and Masteros will continue the chase. Rupture is going to be there. They're going to turn around now with the Mortimer's Kisses, but he will use himself up, trying to survive through it, dissimulate as well. Aether Remnant, the TP out of there. He's actually going to TP right in front of Boomy. Does die to Jackie.
Now that you're dead,
they just can't cancel the TPs. How often do you see that, John, where he just TPs in the middle of a team fight?
Against a Bloodseeker, I want to say nearly every other game in a pub game, Mike. That is just... This is the classic pub mistake. Like, this is what you get for not going Yule to Bloodseeker, which honestly is not what you want to go for, but you have to consider the situation you're in. You do not go stun on your Doom. He's dead anyway. The kisses are flying out, so Mac can't cancel for a Gobble Up, and even then, at, you mentioned it, 40-second cooldown. The creep army is not being maintained by CML. Something has to come out here to stop the TPs, and even then, once a BKB comes out from Masteros, what do you fix that up with? You're not nearly farmed enough on Nico to save up for the Basher. Still has to go for that BKB, so that is going to be a constant issue until we see some item progression or Boomy opting for that stun creep.
Which he still hasn't got. I mean, why even hold the... I get the Pact Leader's Aura gives your whole team bonus damage, but... What's the point as a +4 Doom? You can't really use it yourself. Seems you'd rather the stun. Even the ice armor was better.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I get the mindset, but it's just not lining up. And now MCY
getting jumped. Does pop the BKB. There goes CML on the Enchantress. Meanwhile, to the right side, they have caught out Mac on the Snapfire. Gonna cookie down to the low ground. Masteros was thinking about chasing, but decides better of it. So just one kill going on, and that will be the Enchantress, but gotta count the fact that that was the 10-second BKB charge being expended by MCY just to run away.
Yeah, it's never what you want to see when you've got that fresh BKB. They Gobble Up though.
Yeah, it's gonna be on Jackie. It's a nice one with the Rupture out, and even the Doom he committed. Okay. Aether Remnant gonna catch out Nico. Fearless doesn't have the boat to turn around here, but Boombill is just gonna go onto Boomy. Hookshot is there, back onto the Doom with a torrent out. Cookie is gonna be there, but Fearless just cleans him up with the Tidebringer. Now trying to run away. Aether Remnant not gonna lock anyone down. Fearless is gonna be able to run out of the Blood Riders. Masteros just jumps back in. Jukes him out. The chase will continue for Fearless. Get a Tidebreaker hit off. Glimmer Cape, Cookie, all there. They have the control. They should be able to kill Fearless here. It does finally go down. It seems though Motivate.Trust just didn't want to fight without Jackie being around. Well, I guess for good reason.
Yeah, they need the physical damage on Jackie to start ripping through. Good kills coming out from Adroit. That's what we were looking for. Just the gobble of plays leading into it. Overcommittal on Jackie though. Rupture plus Doom is a bit much. I think they've got the space to spell uses out. Like if they had Doom or Rupture on at least one of those targets there, they might have been able to find 4 further trouble rather than just 3. But yeah, it's just kind of nitpicking. Adroit need to get that done a couple more times though. So they need to wait out this next Doom timer. Maybe just toss Nico though with a Rupture that is available and kind of try to run down. Jackie is still getting big though. SNY up on his Drow, and they're just really starting to get the space out for the Drow. The damage is starting to rack up. Jackie just needs a defensive item, and you see a smoke come out from MG.Trust.
Gonna ignore the Roshan for now. Just wanting to go for the team fight. They have the boat back up. Oh, there's going to be a lot of heroes grouped up here. Torrent, not going to be there. Oh, Boom Bell.
Boom Bell.
Hooking into Fearless. X not going to be on either. That's the gobble up play, John. Mac just gobbles him up. No X back. How is it balanced? I don't know. Someone asked Loader.
He would have a few words. Still, Adroit, it's their turn to smoke up, Mike. They're going to try to go for a counterplay.
They could very well get it. They spotted out Jackie. He realizes something's awry here, so backs off, and Boombell going to turn back around onto Mac. But they've got a Rupture out on Masaros. Cogs is going to create some havoc in the middle of all this. Doom is there. Jackie has been caught, but Masaros trying to help out. In fact, he's farming a small camp right now. Oh, Masaros. Fearless trying to keep Jackie alive. Nico is just rushing forward so quick, and they get the Boundless Strike off. They connect on the Drow. Have they found another? It looks like they do get Boombell. So another 3 kills going on here for Motivate.Trust, and they will go into the Roshan pit.
Yeah, they're making the draft work, and you know I mentioned it, but they needed to find those pickoffs. They did. Really strange decisions from MG.Trust. They broke the smoke. They kind of knew it was coming, but they stayed and fight over Continent. Masur is being punished for stepping out of his bounds, and with this Aegis going the way of Adroit, they've got so much room to play with. Like we haven't even seen MCY commit the Wukongs, but they don't need it. They've just been able to clean up and been able to split these fights up really well.
Well, that is a sad sight. Q could not kill off CML with the Mystic Flare. This hero is so bad. It's just so bad, the Skywrath Mage. Apart from the laning stage, what does this hero do? If you can't kill an Enchantress with 1060 HP with Mystic Flare, which does above that in damage, while you have a Kunkka with you, what's the point of this hero?
Yep, it's not lining up. You start to just really become about the silence. It's all about the Ancient Seal, right? That's going to be it. I think that is an issue now for Q to figure out. You know, going back to like Sky, the last time I remember a Sky was... No, the one moment that strikes me with a Sky was when we saw it random by Sexy Bamboo. That will always stick in my mind. I was like, oh, last pick Sky. We didn't notice that the timer ran out. Like, they told us after it was a random. It's like, oops. That's never going to disappear. Sorry, Sexy Bamboo. It's in my mind. I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry, John. It was a great time.
Oh, but Adroit, they're having a fantastic time, Mike. They dropped that lead to less than 1K. They're looking fantastic. MCY's sort of bounced back. They're still lagging behind Jackie and Fearless, but you can feel them get their power spikes in. The BKB up on MCY has been paying off. The Ags is just about done, and whoop.
Masaros getting caught out in that mid lane. Burmy, though, is going to get cogged up, and with the multi-shot, they will be able to kill him off. But another great Rupture out onto Jackie. Unfortunately, he has a TP, so he'll just TP out of there. Hookshot back onto Nico, but MCY is going to follow up and help out. Fearless now going to throw the boat out just a tad late, but it won't matter. He does end up killing off Nico. Mystic Flare, John, actually doing something this time around. They will continue with an X out now onto CML. Torrent to come in. CML being slowed up by the concussive shot.
Detection? No.
Nope.
Yeah.
Multi-shot is going to be there. Some nice damage out from Jackie. 2 for 2. In fact, it was a 2 for 3. The Enchantress just dying at the last second there.
Yeah.
So, too bad.
Even, fairly even for both sides. You hold on to your lead here for MG.Trust, but you are seeing issues again. Masaros needs something defensive. He's rushing the Linken's next mic. That should make it trickier for Boomy to land the Doom, but the Rupture's still going to come through. They just love committing these spells all at once. There's that Ags now on MCY, so he can really start to melt the heroes in front when he does jump in. I think we need to see something come out from MG.Trust soon. They've been a lot more reactionary. They have not been forcing these fights out themselves, and that's the biggest issue. Adroit gets to find the angle. Adroit gets to set the terms of engagement, and the response from MG.Trust has been middling at best. So we need to see what game plan they have. Jackie, he's also going for a defensive item now. So another Linken's as well. Jackie Linken's, Masaros Linken's being lined up. You start to wonder if there's a lack of offensive potential now, and that might be the next issue for MG.Trust to kind of solve as this game goes on.
Very slow game, I want to say, between these two.
I think it's the pacing, the spacing of the fights. So it's like they get a 5-man team fight, and then they take a break for like 2 minutes to farm. It's just kind of interspersed like that. So we're not seeing, say, a transition to objective. Like, we've seen Adroit win a couple of fights. They haven't taken a mid tier 2 just yet, or even done damage. These fights are just not objective enabling fights, and that's the big issue as well for both sides. There's just no change in map control here.
Into the mid lane. The top lane, Boomy gonna TP back up. Rather bot lane, excuse me. Both teams really just... Oh, MG.Trust really just avoiding the Adroit side. Smoke will wear off. Boombell gonna run up with the Glimmer Cape. Gobble up is going to be there onto Nico, and now they've got Fearless with the Rupture. He is not throwing the boat out, and he's going to die. Interesting. Yules is there on the Bloodseeker. Aetherum to drag him back in. They do get Nico, but now the Doom is there onto Jackie. Buyback out from Boombell. They're going to try and turn this one around. Hookshot is not available, so Adroit, they're going to just happily back out of there. I don't know about that from Fearless. I feel like you just throw the boat out there and just take the boat run buff.
Yeah, it was just a bit delayed, the response. Masaros is using the space down bot. He's still playing there. It's so even. 22-22, less than 1k lead coming out for Adroit. It does feel like they've got an advantage in terms of control now. They're watching Linton ult.
Boomy. Definitely gonna die. Seems like everyone from MG.Trust is just trying to focus on farming a Linken Sphere. We do see Masaros and Jackie doing the exact same kind of thing with this item build-up. TP's up towards that top lane. Mac gonna get spotted. Aether Remnant not gonna be there in time, but the Yules was. They will be able to get this core Snapfire once again.
Yep. It's, again, even, right? They got 2 kills now, so that ekes the edge out for MG.Trust. But what do they do with these kills, Mike? Maybe they line up for the tier 2 top. They're going to start making their way there, but you've got enough time here for Adroit to maybe respond. No kisses, though. No snap buyback. So if they actually transition this into an objective, this is going to be a nice little pickup for MG.Trust. And yeah, look at this range on Jackie.
I love it. Does have both the Linken Spheres up on Jackie and Masaros now as well, by the way. They got them at the exact same time. They're goes your tier 2 top tower. That'll open up the outpost to be taken. If they remember. Which it looks like nobody has. Standard stuff, John. I always forget it. Like, your whole team just forgets that your tier 2 towers open up the outpost.
Yeah.
I mean, mind you, you probably shouldn't forget as a professional team, but they do.
It happens to the best of us, Mike. It happens. So now you can excuse yourself. You say, well, even pro players forget, right?
True.
You've got an excuse, Mike. And honestly, you know, missing out is kind of fine because 40-minute mark is still pretty far out. The counter capture is going to be there if they hung around. Might have been an opportunity for Adroit to re-rotate, but Adroit, speaking of, they do have their ults up. They could look to play aggressive. They don't quite have smokes up, though. So it's going to be a trickier run up, and there is a BKB on Fearless, so it's not going to stop the Doom, but it's going to have a little bit more room to play with now on that Kunkka now.
You know, I feel like outposts are going to be removed in the next patch, John.
You reckon?
Yeah, I think they're going. I don't think they're sticking around. It's too hard to balance them.
Yeah, no, I mean, remember when we used to have shrines?
Yeah.
And then remember when we kind of had, like, the what do you call them? The outposts on the side lanes instead? It has been shifting around. I feel like that objective is such a strange one because it's a snowball objective. Like, if you're winning, you're going to have these. And the idea is, well, the consensus of people was like, okay, this is a way to balance out. If you're behind, you're going to get a solid amount of EXP out from them, but it's not. Like, if you're behind, you lose your outpost, then the enemy team snowballs. I don't know, honestly, what the fate of that is, but we have seen these meta changes really go back and forth, kind of ping-pong around there for weird consistencies coming out.
Big smoke up, though. MG.Trust. This is that moment where you would have liked to take the outpost, John. You would have had a bit of vision, a bit more control across the map. Still are going to run into Adroit. Now they'll take the outpost, but the smoke's very obvious. Boomy's not going to bother showing up. He'll blink away. And Adroit, they're just going to avoid them. They know they can't really guarantee a fight win.
Yeah.
Aether Lens Maceros. What?
Yeah. Never seen it before, Mike, but yes.
That's a new one.
That it is.
34 minutes in, by the way.
Oh.
Catches out Boomy. I guess maybe that's why he wanted it. Great hook shot, though, out from Boombell with the cogs onto MCY, just locking him in with the boats are flying out. They are going to try and focus down CML first, and it looks like they might just get him. In fact, no, they'll turn around onto the Bloodseeker. Jackie does finish off CML. Nico set to go down. Maceros on the chase for MCY, but the blink out is going to be there. Or rather, Mac, excuse me. And Nico, he just runs out of there with a TP of his own, and he is going to make it.
TML, fine. That's a
Yeah,
strange buyback. I don't know about that one.
I believe they assume the Roshan's happening.
I mean, they have the ward. They did see movement there, but that's very preemptive. That is going to line up with their Doom respawn, though. They will have Gobble up. Maybe they can make a play now with all 5 up and no Boom Bell for half a minute.
Up toward that top lane, where Maceros is just going to TP away.
Yeah, you know what, Mike? MVP of this game, TPs.
Literally.
If there's one game where you can point and say, this is why you should have TP, it's this game. So in case, you know, you're playing a pub, you see someone with no TP die, point them to this game and let them know this is why you buy TPs, guys. Always have stock.
Maceros gonna just astral step away, and it is a very long range astral step. So
That it is.
I don't know if Maceros is just really big brain here with this this Aether Lens pick up at 34 minutes, but it might be the way to do it. Gobble up is there from Mac.
Oh my god.
Can't X someone back when they're in the belly of a beast, John.
How fair. How
Very
balanced.
fair.
Well, looks like MG.Trust are going into that Roche. So, you know, it was an early buyback, but CML predicted it right. They are smoked up here on Adroit.
They're going to try and find this one out. They can't let the Roshan go down. Q, however, is going to break the smoke, and Masteros is going to straight up jump in. He does force out the BKB usage. Hook shot way off the mark of Boombill. CML, they get conked up. Jackie looks to go up towards that high ground where he'll go after Booming, try to get rid of this Doom, but he still has the Doom available. Who does he use it on? He does get it off onto Fearless, just needing to get through the Lincoln Sphere first. They are going to focus down the Kunkka while Mac goes down to Masaros, and Fearless is not going to die. Boomy getting caught out. Masaros will pick that one up. Now chase will continue.
Oh,
That is
CML.
huge range. Masaros does get the kill.
That's the Adroit lens, Mike. It's paying off somehow.
Genius, John. Absolutely genius.
Big brain plays, as he said. Still Adroit. And they lost out in that Roche fight. There was a buyback forced out here onto Q, but you're happy now. You're surviving True Dooms. You're forcing awkward initiations because of these Lincoln Spheres. You take it tier 2, and this is where the Drow starts to shine. They can start sieging, and Adroit, no kisses, no Doom. They're just gonna have to watch.
Very sad moment here for the side of Team Adroit. They do go after the Monkey King illusion.
That
They'll
is
get
fairly
him.
tanky.
They got him though, John. Boombill gonna get
What?
force stuffed. Will survive. Bloodright is gonna take him out. Oh goodness me. They get the tier 3 tower, and that'll be enough for Motivate.Trust. They'll back off now with a 7k net worth lead.
Yeah.
I mean, with the way this game's going, everything's going just fine for them.
Yep, it really is. I want to point out that was Boombelt's own force staff.
Yeah.
So he did.
Well,
he has only himself to blame.
I mean, he couldn't just stand there, John. They were right next to him.
I suppose. Really iffy situation all around. Still, yeah, 7k lead, 29 to 25. Mike, 39 minutes in. Look at the Dota Plus win probability: 89% the side of MG.Trust, 11% the side of Adroit. So Adroit need to pick up the pace. We need to see what else lines up. This Monkey King core from MCY is not doing enough, and we have seen this come out from the few Monkey Kings we've seen, right? It falls a bit flat in scaling nowadays. It's just not as beasty as it once was. Even with the Axe build-up, just not as potent. And that's something Adroit has to consider here. You might argue that Drow has a timer. Jackie's just hitting like a truck. You have to remember, multi-shot, it's ridiculous range. Especially if they find a good tier 4 here. Just giving additional range, that would just be sick, but they don't. But Princess Knife is still really darn good for a drop. Look at a projectile. It's a machine gun.
With that, what's the game plan for Adroit?
It's still the same as it ever was. Gobble up, Doom, Rupture off, try to pop the Lincolns, find one big pick off in the back line, either to Drow or to Kunkka, or even Masaros would be pretty good at this point because he is actually really setting up.
Oh.
If you can find one of these, and you're good.
Oh, they'll come back for that Minotaur Horn, I'm sure. There you go, CML. Every good support knows. Gotta keep an eye out for these damn calls, John. They're always in a rush to try and get these damn items.
There they are. You don't want to leave a tier 4 behind. No, heaven help us. You're just stacking the odds against yourself, Adroit.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Jackie. Let's push out that top wave. Well, it's not going to commit by himself. He'll just wait out till they're ready. Trying to look for a fight here with the side of Adroit, but they are not looking for one, it seems. They just want to try and avoid every fight here and just push out waves and buy more time.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Like, they have decent high ground with Wukongs and Kisses, but they don't want to go late game here. Like, Kunkka is just so good. Masaros is already showing up. All you have is that Monkey King, and they're just going to keep shoving. That's all they can really do. Aegis does expire. It's been that long. Jackie is not gonna have that second life. So they're just gonna stick to farming. Satanic next for Drow. Is fairly close, all things considered. Gonna be a really good time for Jackie once that's up. Looking at Fearless, it's been long enough that he can opt for damage. Daedalus is next for the Kunkka. Adroit, though, they are smoked up. They got a bit impatient. They want to go now.
Dire's bottom tower is
We're going to make it happen sometime. Doomy needs a great Doom target. It's really hard with all these Lincolns. Gobble Up is there onto MCY, but he's going to be completely surrounded. Boomy, he's trying to have a look for the Doom attempt, not really finding it quite yet. He's still chasing down Jackie. Jackie's going to make a run though. In fact, he's just going to man fight right now, but he's going to get bursted down. Masaros now on the run. The rest of Adroit going to go ahead and chase down Fearless, who was doomed. Fearless is now probably also dead. Alright, so the fight works out for Adroit. I can't believe I'm saying that. I don't know. It's working.
I think their patience paid off because the Aegis expired. So, they held out long enough. They found her angle. Somehow perfect timing.
Yeah.
Way perfect timing and sniping out that Aegis. So, props to them for kind of keeping count. There is a... Oh god, this is where it gets ridiculous. Mac has a Daedalus. He has his level 20 talent. Once you hit 25, good god, you are dealing with a physical snap at that point. And that is the biggest balance.
I love it.
Right? Like Gobble Up is so broken, and then you have these stupid talents as well.
Oh, I love it. Never change, Ice Frog. Never change. Masaros, try and go in. Masaros already at that level 26 mark. Ash will step in. Oh, he actually stepped in, but he gets stunned straight away. Masaros.
Alright.
Goodness me.
That's one way to give the lead out. Less than 1k advantage now to the side of Adroit. And those are terribly long respawn timers because of those levels you mentioned. So Adroit gonna be happy enough. They force the buyback from Fearless. They don't find anything. They even find a Masaros pickup. And now with this transition for Mac, he is a level away from 25, Mike. I am worried now for MG.Trust.
And the net worth graph is back down to less than 1k. I love it.
Yep.
Why is
probability too?
This mount
Just
as well,
crashed.
like... What have they found there? Oh, it's going to be an illusion. MCY is around. Boom Bell with a nice hook shot out into the Mystic Flare. No, he does survive with the Gobble Up from Mac once again. Now he gets the Abyssal Blade out. He's going to go for the fight, but MCY Bound Strike does finally come out. Onto the clockwork, that is. They'll continue fighting on. Nobody's dead quite yet. They're still trying to chase MCY. Masaros, got to be careful. That's a lot of damage up from that Snapfire. The bashes now. Mac trying to control him up. Masaros going to just try and Astral Step away. Looks like he's going to be alright for now, but MCY does catch him out. Boundless Strike, however, not landing, but the bashes will be there, so instead he'll Astral Step the other way now. Dissimulating back into the team fight. CMO. She's going to die. Very nice.
Yeah, that's a dieback in CML. So that was literally it. Just
That's it.
Dieback, and we spent a full minute, and that's all they got. That's outstanding play from both sides. Actually, really disciplined. But I don't know if you can do anything with that. Roshan is still a minute off. There's no objectives here for MG.Trust. I reckon they just play patient and just keep farming up. Just try to build that lead back up here.
Masaros not going to be able to find Mac out. Mac's still trying to go after that level 25.
Courier has been killed.
I love the fact that she has triple shot at 25.
Yep.
Makes me so happy.
It's just, it's ridiculous. It's just the fact that it uses your attack damage, uses multi-shot, and I believe it procs on hit effects independently. So yeah, it's probably the only spell that procs on hit effects right now. I think, if I'm not mixing that up. That's what really breaks. That's what really makes the thing busted. It's no one. Oh, there you go. 25's up, Mike. You're
He's
gonna
got
be
it.
treated. There you go.
Gonna go after the MKB as well. So see the brilliance here from Mac. Just love to see all that damage being pumped out. Burmy is gonna find out Boombell now. Glimmer Cape is gonna allow him to run away for a bit, but he gets the cogs off onto Burmy. 4 staffs away. See why. Masaros can simulate off. Boat is actually going to fly in. MCY is getting very, very low, but the gobble up again from Mac. Oh, it's perfect. Rocket Flare is there. MCY going to TP away in the tree line, and MG.Trust, they just can't catch a break. Mac once again.
Just disgusting.
Oh, wait a minute. Mac's up to
Saves
something.
a kill, so.
Mac's up to something. No, he wanted to, I believe what he wanted was to hit the jungle creep, and the third multi-shot was going to go down to the clockwork, is what I believe he was trying to do. Unfortunately for him, it does not reach that far.
No, it doesn't. And I mean, props for him for trying to, at least. What matters is he tried. But posturing around Roche now, Mike. This is going to be the big one. Has an Ags upgrade as well. MG.Trust doesn't want to give that Aegis away. Neither does Adroit. And it's going to be important to maintain vision there. MG.Trust has a step up because they've got the clockwork. So Boombell can keep eyes out, and they do just drop the wards. They understand where they have to play now. Oh.
It's going to be a hook shot. Catch out CML. A lot of damage being dealt to Boombell, but not really anywhere near enough. Gets ruptured up. Now Masteron, seeing the rupture being used, just jumps in. But now needs to get out as Burmy is there now. Mac jumps in with the little shredder. And, well, MCY going to go after Jackie. Jackie still seems to be fine, but Q does go down to Nico. Mortimer's Kisses flying in. Burmy about to drop and does go down. Masteros, meanwhile, controlling the rest with the Dissimulate stun. There is going to be a chase from Nico. He dies. Now MCY is trying to fight this one out, but he's also gone.
And Mac?
Mac, yeah, Mac's dead as well, John. Mac is dead as well. A very messy team fight. There are buybacks available. Roshan's up as well, so Motivate.Trust is going to rush the Roshan pit. They should be able to get it fairly quick, thanks to Jackie.
Dyer's courier has been killed.
Yeah.
Nico, careful there, sir.
That was a cute trick. It won't work again now.
Okay, they get the buybacks and that'll be it. They get out of the Roshan pit. Masteros has a full sight device up now.
Yeah, and now it's at the point in the game where you start to think about these level 30 spikes. So the double talents kicking in. I believe we've got Masaru's fairly close. Is at level 28. Quarter of a way to 30. And the side of Adroit not quite as far ahead. So Jackie as well at 28. It's a pretty good spike for Masaros. Considering that he gets True Sight in his Remnants. The Astral Step crit as well allows him to do a little bit more damage. For the Drow's part, the Silence is nice. The Blind is going to be big once those BKBs fade away. MKB is only up on our Bloodseeker, but you don't have one on MCY just yet, although he is inching closer, but that's going to be something if he doesn't finish it up soon. Still, they both know the rush is up. They're not ready to commit, but are, again, waiting out these respawns. Fearless is going to be the big one on the side of MG.Trust. Adroit, they do have Mac back up. So we'll see what happens here as they just keep holding out.
got to the point where Fearless is buying damage now on the Conquer. Gets a Daedalus up. They have more Lincoln Spheres being bought up as well. Fearless is buying one himself. Everyone's afraid of Dooms and Ruptures, apparently. So,
Yeah.
so, I mean, it is problematic in all fairness, but I don't know how this game has become so close between these two.
Yeah.
A lot of mistakes being made this game, I feel like.
Yeah, both sides just struggling a bit. Now, mind you, I believe again there are like other simultaneous tournaments. I believe I saw down the grapevine that MG.Trust did have to play a few series today, so that could explain why
They could be tired.
It is kind of brain melting to play multiple series. We saw Neon play 2 back-to-back, and that was just 2. I believe MG.Trust had played a little bit more, so you got to watch out for that. But looks like they're ready to commit in the rush, but Adroit again in position to contest.
Divine Rapier now. Oh, here we go. All right, there we go. Max had enough. Divine Rapier, Daedalus. Oh, I love it. And the multi-shot Lil Shredder. Let's see it get to work.
Let's
Mac,
go, Mac.
you gotta test the gun before you go to war. No, never mind. We're just smoking up.
Oh, not even a tease. What's
No.
to come.
Wants to leave the big surprise for the real moment.
Yeah.
How much damage is it gonna be, really, though?
About nearing 1,000 mark, although
Gobble up, Boomy's in. Gobble is going to be off the mark. Mac being very, very cautious with that Divine Rapier, not going in quite yet. Masteros goes in. No, he kind of screws up the Little Shredder. Masteros now going to actually jump on Mac.
Oh, no.
He's forced to BKB TP away. Meanwhile, MCY commits the Wukong's command. Jackie is there onto the Monkey King. Aids the Remnant to catch him out. And that is going to be a pretty bad team fight for the side of Adroit.
Fearless?
They do kill Fearless, though. So they get something. John, if there's anything I hate, is people buying Divine Rapiers and then being too scared to fight. Just don't buy the Divine Rapier next time. Rupture 4-star. That was his own 4-star again. Jeez.
Every time, dude. That's like 3 times in a row I've watched Boombell just do that. It's I mean, now you have 2 heroes with no buyback on MG.Trust, 2 heroes without buyback on Adroit. We're back to square one, Mike. It's just farming time. Farming Divine for Mac. Come on. At least show us the damage. There you go, 1.3.
I mean, it's great damage, John, but he's going to get close enough to hit people with it.
That he does. Needs to be up there. And, well, the respawn of Fearless is a bit earlier, but Boombelts is a bit later, so that balances out. Adroits are kind of lined up together. Okay, Jackie just forced it. He's done. Jackie's done. He just wants a road now.
Yeah. Well, he's going to get a free Roshan. Aghanim Scepter Blessing is there. I wonder who they want to give it to. Jackie doesn't have a free slot at the moment. Jackie, you probably should drag an item. There you go. He takes care of the Hurricane Pike. Now the team fight is about to start. Mystic Flare actually doing a lot of damage. CML does die.
Why not you?
Okay.
Yeah, that's a rush. That's a 16k lead now.
Are we waiting for tier 5 items now? Are we just going all the way?
Why not, I say. Now might as well have some fun, farm the tier 5s, and leave it up to chance whether or not you throw a fight away. I say why not? You're about to hit the level 30 mark as well for Jackie, which it's not amazing for a drow, but it's there. And Masteros is a lot closer. That should be bigger on our Void Spirit, as we'll see just how long it takes.
Oh, the Astral Step crit, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's pretty value. He hasn't really gone the right-click build, though. So it's not really going to matter for him too much.
Not too much, but it's still nice. I mean, his base damage is 213, so it's still pretty ridiculous to have a crit on top of that.
Sure.
Good opportunities.
Nothing wrong with that. Masteros. Let's juke out the blood, right? Yours is going to be there onto MCY.
Yeah. Isn't that amazing, Mike? Look at that defense. What creep wave? Oh, but what racks?
What racks, John?
Jackie. Whew. Machine gun.
That's it. Get rid of it, Jackie. Don't
Come on,
worry about
come
the
on.
backdoor protection. Just get rid of it. 25k net worth lead. Yeah, absolutely, John. I mean, what are they going to do? Do you think they want to walk into those arrows? Just
Nope.
let the buildings take the damage. Just stand there and watch.
Yep, that's all we can do. Respawns are up, but who did he actually feed the Ags to? I didn't even get to see. Who is it on? Oh, it's on, of course, it's on Fearless, so, you know, Torrent Storm, Mike.
Love it.
Beautiful.
Torrent Storm is actually pretty darn great.
It really is. It's so annoying, because suddenly you're forced to BKB, and if you're caught off, you're just kind of gone because the game stuns. Still, here we go, Jackie, round 2.
Why the hell
Wow.
not? Love
Whoa.
it.
Outstanding. Jackie, what a player. He's doing it.
Oh, there goes the 4-star play. The Rupture is also there with the Wukong's command. Jackie does have the Aegis. They keep 4-staffing him, John. Masteron's going to jump in now, and there's your
Mac?
little Shredder just bouncing around. Mac doing a lot of damage out. They have to buy back immediately, but Fearless might just drop here, and it looks like he has. They commit all the buybacks. They do not want to wait any longer.
Oh, but there's still a Doom up. There's still a Doom up, and the kisses are still up here for Adroit. Could
I
be
don't-
risky with these buybacks.
I don't think they care about the kisses anymore, John. I don't think the kisses matter. I think it's all about hitting people with that little shredder. Masteros going to jump in. Misses the Aether Remnant. Very unusual for him. He's been pretty on target the whole game. They get a secondary Rax. Very nice.
Mm-hmm. They're holding on. No, Adroit. Don't want to play against the numbers disadvantage. There's a late BKB out for Jackie. It should be a full 10-second charge for him. He
Very
is
nice.
in a very good point once it flies in. And the last Rax, Mike. Can they do it?
There's your level 30 on Masteros as well now.
No.
Jump in, Masteros gets the sight device off onto the Snapfire. She has the Divine Rapier, and everyone's just ignored
Oh, no.
Masteros. He's just going to take care of it by himself. Meanwhile, a Torrent Storm is upon us. They will get Boomy. Clockwork hookshot in onto CML. He's a bit of a sitting duck right now. He'll force staff away. Masteros going to take care of him. It was rather Fearless. Just crit him with the Daedalus. Back in onto that Doom, but Nico, and here comes your little shredder from Mac. A lot of damage onto Fearless. He does kill off the Bloodseeker. Almost dead himself. Does go down. Now Masteros needs a way out and does find one. Or does he? The TP does make it.
Whew. On the edge there for Masteros. MG.Trust couldn't do it. No, they couldn't do the high ground. Good defense from Adroit. They were forced to buy back, but MG.Trust also bought back anyway earlier on. So it's kind of even in the end, only expending 2. You still are at a very good point in tier 5s, Mike. Here we go. Ballista, you'd love that if you were Jackie, but it's not on their side.
Wait a minute, wait a minute. Alright,
Oh,
so
it's digging though.
Max got 2 Divine Rapiers, but with this Ballista, does he knock back people with the little shredder?
Yeah, we'll find out, I think. When he gets to a camp or something. Although they die too fast. But I want
Oh my god,
yes,
it does.
Yes. Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Jesus. Jesus.
Masteros. He's got the Hex.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh boy. There goes your Divine Rapier. Luckily
Mac.
for him, the second one was in the base. He doesn't have buyback anyway. Mac. Of all times to try and farm, it's when you have 2 Divine Rapiers up. I'm not sure it was necessary for him to hit the jungle like that. But, He goes down with a Divine. Bit unfortunate.
Oh, he's gonna be so upset. That cost him his buyback. He's just
He has
stuck.
another one. He does
Yeah.
have another one though, John.
Yeah, but no buyback. A full minute. You're looking at that last set of racks. You have to remember we were talking about Masaros not having a crit build. Well, you have it defined now with your Astral Step crit. So
You're laughing.
yep. He got his farm elsewhere. He's like, thank you. I didn't farm for this, but thank you. Oh my god.
Masteros gonna jump in now. That's a lot of damage being dealt. The Monkey King just kind of stuck there, stunned up. He'll go for the Wukong's command now. MCY gonna try and fight back. Boom Bill does end up going down. Buyback's out. Masteros looking for his next victim.
Jackie. Stygian.
Sneaky and Desolator, John. Masteros gonna go in by himself with that Divine, trying to fight this one out. And yeah, that is a fair bit of damage. Not quite enough to kill off CML yet, though. Megas are up, but Jackie's had enough. He's just going after T4 Towers. They'll go for the fight. There's a Divine on the deck now. Fearless trying to go in for it. He has a slot open. He does pick it up. MCY is dead anyway, and the GG's been called. Woo. What a weird game.
What a game one. It's ridiculous, I think is how I'd put it.
It was ridiculous. It was a ridiculous game.
90 kills, Mike. 50 to 40. 1 hour in. 37k net worth for MG.Trust. You gotta take a look at that graph. I think the Team XP net worth, look at it bounce around. It just constantly bounces. MG.Trust, up, down, slowly up.
At least it was a fun game to watch between these two. Game 2 should be coming up in about roughly 10 minutes. It's MLP Dota and JohnXFire. We'll see you all again in about 10 minutes for our last game of the night. See you then.